just last week, riding from a mate's place, Mrs. messages me. She's like, can you go into a shopping center, grab some stuff for dinner? I'm like, too easy. Come in, park sort of, on a parallel, not parallel, what is the name? A little bit across the parking spot, at the end of the parking spot, so people who drive past looking for parking don't get too excited and ride into the parking spot to fuck up my bike. Little I know, when I came out of the shopping center, my bike's standing on the same spot, everything seems fine. I jump on the bike and there's this four-wheel drive pulls up, and the dude from four-wheel drive is like, yeah mate, your bike's been dropped. And I'm like, I was in the helmet, couldn't hear him properly, so I thought he said nice bike or something like that, so I'm like, hey, cool, yeah, thanks. And he's like, no mate, you don't understand, your bike's been dropped. And at that moment I end up turning around to sort of look at the dashboard and how I'm sort of was pulling out from the car park spot, and I realized that one of my handlebars is like bent upwards more so, and I'm like, the fuck. So I get off the bike, have a look around, and yeah, there's scratches here and there. The brake lever is bent around the swing arm, and the handlebar is like completely screwed up. I mean, like, one of my hands was like fucking in one way, the other hand is looking the other way. And he's like, yeah, so it happened. I'll give you the number plate of a dude. And dude's fucking nowhere to be seen. He's fucked off. I'm like, yeah, cool. And he gives me the number plate of the dude. I go into police in the morning and file a report, but here's something to fill you in on. My bike was not insured at that stage, and basically, just to give you a bit of a backstory, the way I viewed insurance in my head at the point is that, obviously if you do something wrong, you gotta pay for it, and I am happy to own up to my shit. So if I would have happened to, bump another car, I'd be happy to pull out, my wallet, my card, and compensate a person for damage. And the way my understanding was at the point is that if somebody does wrong to me, so somebody fucks me up, first of all, I'll be fucking happy to be alive, and second of all, his insurance or the person himself will take care of the damage they caused. But nah, so I'll go into a police office and they're like, file out the report. They look up the guy's details and they're like, well, I explained to the officer there that I didn't have insurance, so he's like, oh, okay. And I needed the details of the person. And he's like, well, I can't actually give them to you directly, but I will go ahead and give him a call and see what he wants to do, like what he says. So the cop goes and calls the guy, and the guy gives him okay to give me his number. So I'm like, cool, sounds like the guy is reasonable, sounds like everything's gonna work out just like it sort of should work out, in my mind. And I take the contact details, take the police report, and I go on my merry way home. I get home confident that I'll give a guy a call and then take my bike in for repairs and he'll cover the cost. Contrary to my understanding of what's gonna go down, I give a guy a call and he's like, "Nah mate, there was no fucking damage. I picked up your bike, there was no damage, fucking contact my insurance and you'll have to prove to them that there was some damage." I'm like, fuck mate, you fucking reverse into my bike, you fuck shit up, you pick it up with your fucking expertise in, assessing the damage, and you fuck off, not leaving me any contact details, nothing. If the bystander who saw it happen didn't give me a detail, I wouldn't even be able to contact you. And he's like, nah, they're fucking, just blabbing shit. And basically, finally, he gives me the details of his insurance company. And I mean, by details, he just told me who he was. He wouldn't give me like his policy number or anything. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you call them and sort it out." Fucking great, don't you think? Fucking, I did nothing wrong, nothing. And now, all of a sudden, I have to fucking run around, prove shit to someone, and do all the legwork, whilst your fucking ass will be sitting on a couch or whatever, going, "What up?" So anyways, I'm thinking, whatever, I'll go with it, I'll contact his insurance company and we'll, get this claim on the way. So I contact his insurance company and they're like, "Nah mate, fucking, we can't do anything for you. He's gotta initiate the claim." Well, I obviously explained that I don't have an insurance company to go through with to initiate the claim through my insurance company, and they're like, "Well, we can't do it for you. He's gonna initiate the claim." So I'm like, alrighty. Basically, I'm calling the guy and I'm like, "Well, your insurance company doesn't want to do anything with me. They're telling me you gotta initiate the claim." And he's like, "Nah, I'm ain't doing shit. I don't need to initiate the claim. I've got no damage on my fucking vehicle. I'm not gonna do shit." So I'm like, fuck. Well, that's nice. Proceeded to fucking research on this a bit more. Now, as I mentioned, the motorcycle is the only transport of mine, so I needed it fixed. So basically, so I've looked up online, and the only things I could have done is like write up a letter of demand to him personally and to his insurance company. And for that, in the very least, I needed his address, and because he wouldn't give me his details. The only way I could have done that would be through obtaining the police report. Apparently you can pay money and gather the report with all of his details on the Freedom of Information Act, and that would cost me money. I ended up going to the Ducati dealership and service center and finding out what it's gonna take, what's actually been damaged. Basically got them to do a bit of an assessment. They thankfully it is just a handlebar itself that's bent out, so we need to replace that, and the brake lever. Nevertheless, that ended up costing me $430, which I paid and had my bike back on the road in a working order same day. Literally took them an hour or so to fix up. But I come back home and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm not gonna deal with this cunt's shit. I'm not gonna bother. It's gonna cost me more to try to go through the court and whatnot else. to get something out of him, but I'm thinking I'll take some pictures of the damage. Well, I've taken the pictures of the damage before I left for repairs. So I've sent him a message. I'm like, this is what was wrong with the bike, and I sent him a copy of the receipt for the repairs. And I'm like, dude, you know, I'm not gonna pursue this matter any further, but if you feel like being a decent human being and fucking owning up to your wrongs and, you know, owning up to your actions and compensating me for the repairs, feel free to contact me on this number. And, you know, I would have been cool with him not contacting me and just, you know, sort of admitting that he's a prick that way. But nah, the fuckhead actually replied to me and said something along the lines of like, as I said before, you can take it up with my insurance company and pursue that matter that way. I don't believe there was anything wrong that I did. I'm sorry for knocking your bike over there, but yeah, I'm not gonna do shit. And by the way, I don't understand why you parked in that manner. Literally not giving me any room to maneuver. And I'm like, and he's like, oh yeah, because there was also like a couple empty spots down the parking lot. And I personally fucking park in the emptiest spot ever. Usually. Well, clearly because you're a fucking useless driver. Right? And then I'm like, fuck, I lost my shit. Like, honestly, I could not believe somebody would say some shit like that. Because, fucking, dude, what do you do if there's two cars parked next to you? First of all, I can park whatever the fuck I want. And second of all, what are you gonna do if there's two cars parked to you? What, you're gonna smash both of them up? And then fucking blame it on them for parking next to you? A motorcycle, no matter how parked, and more than that, parked in a very reasonable, very safe way. And, but like that aside, it's just like my motorbike physically takes less space than any car can possibly take. Like, how can you say some shit like that? Like, so yeah, anyway, and I've replied to him, I'm like, dude, fucking this and that, you know, that's the way we can settle the matter. I'm not gonna fucking take you to court, it's gonna cost me more, and, you know, you can go trip on your fucking porch and break your face. And basically no replies since then. But yeah, so the lesson to be taken out of these guys is you do need to have your bike insured, even if you don't feel like you're gonna do anything wrong, or well, even if you don't do anything wrong, you need to have the motorcycle insured for the sake of somebody representing you. Because otherwise, aside of fucking having to fix your own damage, you're gonna have a real trouble getting anything out of anyone. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed a bit of a story, a bit of a rant. I do apologize if it's a bit long or if it's a bit incohesive. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. But yeah, thanks guys for watching once again. Over and out.